Hi, this is Santosh. Welcome to English Abaca. Today I'm going to teach you the first chapter in Class 9 CBSE from the Kaveri textbook, How I Taught My Grandmother to Read. This chapter beautifully shows the strong bond between granddaughter and her grandmother. It's simply a touching story about love, learning, and determination. The story is about a grandmother who cannot read or write. She depends on others to read stories for her. One day, she feels the importance of learning with the help of her granddaughter and she decided to study. Through her effort, whether she started to learn to read or not is the rest of the story. We'll get into the story and know what happened. Before getting into it, I just want you to know about the author, Sudha Murty. She was born on 19th August 1950. She is a well-known Indian author and social worker famous for her simple and meaningful stories. Some of her popular works includes Wise and Otherwise, The Day I Stopped Drinking Milk, and many inspirational stories for young readers. Now, let's move into the story. Imagine a small village in North Karnataka, quiet, simple and peaceful. No fast transport, no instant news. People waited and waited eagerly for the bus that brought newspapers and magazines. In this village lived a young girl about 12 years old, Sudha, and her loving grandmother, Krishtaka. Every week, there was something special about everyone waited for. A Kannada magazine called Karmavira, and inside it was a beautiful story, Kashi Yatra. This story was not just a story. It was a dream. It was about an old woman who wanted to visit Kashi, the holy city. But the life had its own plans. In the end, she sacrificed her dream to help a poor orphan girl. This touched many hearts, but one heart deeply, the grandmother's heart, Krishtaka. The love bond between grandmother and granddaughter. The grandmother could not read. She had never gone to school. So every Wednesday, she would wait, not for the magazine, but for her granddaughter. The girl would sit beside her and read the story aloud, and the grandmother would listen with a full attention so deeply that she could remember every word. For her, this was not just listening, it was living the story. After listening, she would go to the temple courtyard and discuss it with her friends like true reader. Now, a turning point and the emotional night. One day, the girl went to a wedding and stayed longer than expected. When she returned, something was wrong. For the first time, she saw her grandmother crying. That night, under the moonlight, the grandmother finally spoke. Her words were simple but powerful. She said she never went to school because in those days, girls' education was not valued. She got married young and became busy with life. But deep inside, she always regretted not being educated. And then came the real pain. When the magazine arrived in the girl's absence, she held it, looked at it, but could not read a single word. That moment made her feel helpless and dependent. She said something unforgettable. What is the use of money when I am not independent? The decision that changes everything. That night, she made a bold decision. I will learn to read. Not tomorrow, not someday. From the very next day. She even set a deadline. Saraswati Puja during Dasara. She wanted to read a novel by herself. The granddaughter's reaction, at first the girl laughed. She saw her grandmother's age, grey hair, wrinkles and thought it was impossible. But the grandmother smiled and said, for learning, there is no age bar. That one line is the heart of the story, the journey of learning. From the next day, something beautiful began. Our granddaughter became a teacher and grandmother became a student. And what a student was, she worked hard. She read, she wrote, she repeated again and again. Her determination was stronger than her age. The most beautiful moment, Dasara day. Finally, the day arrived. The granddaughter secretly bought the novel Kashi Yatra. During the puja, something unexpected happened. The grandmother bent down and touched her granddaughter's feet. In Indian culture, elders never do that. But she said, I'm not touching my granddaughter's feet, I'm touching my teacher's feet. What respect, what humility. Then she took the book and read the title on her own. That moment was not just reading, it was freedom, it was self-respect, it was victory. This story is not just about a grandmother learning to read. It teaches education gives freedom, not money, not age. Education gives real freedom. Learning has no age limit. Whether 12 or 62, learning can begin anytime. Determination beats difficulty. Strong will can overcome any obstacles. Respect for teacher. A teacher is respected not by age but by the role. Emotional bond in families. Love and support can transform lives. This is the story of a grandmother who proves that it is never too late to learn and become independent. Just comment what would you do if you were the granddaughter of this kind of grandmother. And I hope that you like the story and my narration. If you have any suggestions or feedback, kindly mention it in the comment. And I hope you like it. Please subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for the upcoming chapters. Thank you. Have a nice day.